The Super Regionals were so good. I had a whole day full of Smite, just sitting here doing nothing. But they'd start at like 3 a.m. for me, so I couldn't watch all of them.
Oh yeah, that's right. Dude, their time zone is brutal. Like to catch any of like the
Yeah,
SPL games, etc.
but yeah. I would like back during the regular season. I'd uh, I'd wake up relatively early to try and catch the first games, and then I'll like close my eyes for 2 seconds, and then game would be over. Like the best example of that was Cloud9 TSM, where I closed my eyes and it was 5 minutes later, and then Cloud9 was up 9-0, like after like starting buffs. I was like, holy shit, what the hell happened? I
Yeah.
missed a lot, and I was like, nope, that's just the game.
I would like to
That
point
was just
out,
Cloud9.
by the way, so it looks like um Mikasa's squad, they're invading red buff, and speed buff and blue buff has like they haven't been taken yet on the red side of the map. Like all the buffs are still up, like just chilling.
Look at this. Why is Barkison solo lane at level 3?
I couldn't tell you, man. He's just
If the
slapping
random
and
watches this, he's
drinking.
gonna get triggered.
Yeah,
Like, I'm
they're
having a
just.
breakdown.
It's a three-man invade squad right now. They're gonna
No,
invade.
it's a 4-man. It's a 4-man. Arby's there as well.
Oh yeah. They're just gonna take everything. That's
Did
savage.
you see that hard blink?
I think it's adorable. I love it.
Wait, who had blink? Oh, it was Ares. Ares had blink. The one active item.
Oh, yeah, I think the ISIS. So for whatever reason, they always get Book of Thoth first before Boots. So the ISIS is gonna do that now. The ISIS has Thoth 1, and it's just gonna go straight into Thoth. I haven't tried it yet, and I don't suggest anyone in chat try it because you are prone to feed. Like they might just do it because Chinese meta, whatever, right? But by my experience, I've fed 9 out of 10 games when I don't go boots first because of low mobility. Because I don't know, I feel like people underestimate the value of like moving, like moving around
Yeah.
quickly. So
Oh my god. Did you see how much that Neath ulti hit him for?
yeah,
Oh my god. Yeah, I know to get the OCE pros, they say that movement is like their most valued stat.
oh it's OP. Especially like just like depending on ping and stuff like that. Like you can avoid everything.
I think I'm like a couple seconds ahead of you.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Probably because I'm closer to China.
Just a little bit closer. It's also I haven't refreshed the stream in a while, so like
Yeah.
over like you probably got like the brand new fresh feed. So like I'm just a little bit behind.
Yeah. I'll like pause for a second and then come back. If that is a feature that exists. Nope.
I can just
It's
refresh.
not.
Hold on, let me try
They
refreshing.
don't have a pause. Alright.
I have a pause. Hold on, I'm just refreshing. 1 second, guys.
Well, while you're waiting for the refresh, do you want to learn a little bit about OCE?
Yeah, sure. Hit me up with the info.
Alright,
Let's learn. Because
so-
I haven't watched the regionals because I was preparing for
Yeah.
my own regionals.
Yeah, so basically there were 4 teams that went to Super Regionals. There was Avant-Garde, obviously, who won. There was Direwolves, who was the second team, SYF, and Integral Nation. And Integral Nation, they're a cool team. I'm actually wearing one of their shirts now. About one of their players. It's called me Mr. Mouse. He's one of my mates as well. And like they during the regular season, they were kind of like enemy because we actually had like a pre-regionals tournament for the last 2 spots to qualify regionals because you didn't necessarily qualify through the Pro League. Only the top 2 spots of regionals were determined from Pro League. The other 2 were from like a qualifying tournament. And
Yeah.
so Integral Nation was kind of like the enemy of our region, where they qualified to the tournament when they came like 7th
Really?
in the regular season.
That's crazy.
They took the 4th spot. SYF took the 3rd spot. They were probably the number 4 team. There's another team called Chiefs that had like internet issues, and then they like disbanded, and so they couldn't play. They played in the tournament but got like wrecked. So SYF took 3rd spot, Integral took 4th spot, which was really cool. But basically, come tournament day, Integral Nation put up a big fight against Avant-Garde in game 1, and then it turned into a Cloud9 versus enemy, and Avant just stomped them because they're that good. SY for Direwolves was like similar kind of situation. Like SY put up a fight, but Direwolves were just better. Direwolves versus Avant, that was like super one-sided in the first 2 games because Avant's jungler Ro is actually a god.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you watch some of
Is
those
that
games.
300 ping life, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember
That's who he is.
I remember talking to him. He would say he plays support because he could not actually like,
Yeah.
his ping was like too high or whatever. I'm like,
Oh
that
yeah.
sucks, dude.
Yeah, that was like I didn't play ranked until after we got our own servers, and even then, I'm still really bad. But yeah, he got to Diamond 2 on OCE ping, which is crazy to me.
That's pretty good considering that, the game is warping
Uh,
and abilities don't even make sense at that point. Like I played with there's been instances where I've gotten like above 200 ping. Game's warping. The game it doesn't even feel like Smite anymore. It's like you're just like what is going on? Like I've gone through
yeah.
walls like commonly. Like I'm just like, okay. This is cool.
Yeah, in OCE, there's such a small playlist as well. He can't actually get ranked games on his main account. He's got too high elo.
Oh, really? So he's
Yeah.
like 3 ever queues or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, well, actually, it's getting a little bit better. Like, you can actually get ranked games now, but he just can't get games. He's Diamond 1, actually, I'm being told. So, like, yeah, he just can't get a game. He has to use, like, old accounts and stuff. But yeah, the Game 3, Divals brought it back with the hot Barkus like we're seeing now. Ooh.
Speaking of Bacchus, shoutouts to Willix. Underrated character. Even though I feel like they pick a Willix with no knockups, like all the time. Which I guess like maybe they're not looking, they just value Willix just for like standalone. But I don't know, dude. Like Willix OP. Like, have you seen her ult? Wow, he suicided for that kill.
Yeah.
What?
Banzai. This
Like-
Nick is hitting like a truck, man. Holy shit.
No, what's crazy is that this guy. Wow, he might. What is he doing? Oh my God! What? Oh, that was savage. He Master Lu straight up charged ult in front of them. I love it. I don't think he's gonna get that kill either. Doesn't have any mana.
But he's backing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Game 3, Hot Barkus coming out from Richard Castle. He, like, brought him back into it, but they just couldn't cut it together. There was one point where Ro was by himself in the solo lane. They 4-man collapsed on him, and they still couldn't kill him. Like, Thor ulti missed, like, they charged basically into Avant's jungle, and then they got clean up from there. And,
Well,
like,
he seems like a
Ro dodged so much
hardworking.
stuff.
He seems like a hardworking like player.
Well, everyone on Vanguard and Direwolves is very much like that. Like, Direwolves, 3-0 doesn't reflect how good they are as a team. And, yeah, like, the only team... Avant hadn't lost a game in, like, 5 months.
Which
they
is
went
crazy.
through the whole OPL undefeated. And then the tournament before that, which was kind of like our ball split, was... Oh wait, no, not fall split. Spring split was something called the Invitational Ladder, and the only time they lost there, lost a set there was to Direwolves. But then they won. There was a tie-breaking match, and they won against Direwolves there. Like the tournament rules and stuff for OCE are pretty messed up. We kind of had to work on it as we went along. But yeah, so they haven't lost a game in a while.
Wow, that's savage.
Direwolves on the reg, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely have to sit down, like, watch through, like, at least the Oceanic Regionals, because I didn't catch a bit of it just because I was just, like, too busy preparing just to see what was going on. Luckily, I have all this free time now. Woo! I guess the upside of not being at Worlds, or, like, not qualifying for Worlds, but, yeah. I don't know, the Chinese games are actually amazing, though, because it's just, like, I don't know, it's like a door. It's like a little region, just China making the worlds. They have like their own little meta. And I always think that's interesting.
It's kind of funny because OCE like to emulate NA more so than EU just because like they watch all the streams and stuff, but China doesn't really have access to that, so they kind of have to work it out on themselves. Whereas OCE, we can just kind of see, oh, DJ Pernicus did this, Ally did this.
Yeah, I wonder if China, like, I wonder if anyone, like, in chat would ever have, like, I don't know if anyone has connections to, like, at least the Chinese pro players. Cause I know for a fact I've had Fighting Jay. I've had him in my ranked games, and that motherfucker feeds like it's his job, right? So I wonder if anyone would have, like, connections, like the Chinese pros have connections, and they see stuff, and they're just like, oh, okay, I'm going to take that. That's mine now. Like, oh, I like that. That's mine. I wonder if they, like, willingly go to, like, NA and EU and just take information, or if they just YOLO it. Because, like, there's some stuff.
I'm in Brazil do that.
Like, I see, like, there's some stuff you could tell. It's like, either they figured it out, or like they copied, but then there's some stuff I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? Like I have no idea.
Smite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout
I've
outs to
heard
Neith.
Latam Brazil do that. Like they're like, oh, Sun Wukong's OP now, so they play Sun Wukong, but then they like don't build correctly a lot of the time.
Yeah,
That's just what I've heard from people from that are involved in that region.
no. The only thing I noticed is that the junglers love Weaken because they straight up
Weekend #1.
camp the fuck out of Soul Lane. At least that one game.
Weekend Senpai. Good.
Yo, the Chalk is 1,000 gold ahead of the Wukong. Mystical Mail just
Oh my.
flat out done. That's the worst. Maybe the Wukong hasn't backed yet. Or no, he just
3K
backed.
gold.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's done.
Sorry, not 3K gold, 1.3K gold ahead.
Yeah, no, he's done. This Wukong is
Wow.
done.
3
So
levels though.
he's the
3
lowest gold.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's the lowest gold on his team, right next to Bacchus. Crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I can't see like, and here's the thing: I can't see OMG throwing this because usually, or at least from a competitive standpoint, right? And I'm sure everyone in the chat have seen games like this because I see it like Smite game chat all the time. Like, usually, like when a confident team gets like at least a 2 to 3K gold lead and they win a solid, it usually comes down to the first team fight, right? Whether it be for Gold Fury or like mid tower or whatever, and you see like a 4-man, 3-man wipe. That's 9 times out of 10, like most people, GG, like that's it, right? But with China, you don't know because they do weird shit and they build weird and I don't know. Like most people would see like imagine if that Chalk was Devios and that Wukong was like another Soul Laner. Most people would be like, oh, Devios up like 2K gold, GG. Devios just gonna farm everybody. But you can't tell because I've seen just like last game, they were up 10K gold, and then it was a 60-minute game, and then they won. Like, I was just like, what? Like how did they come back? What? Yo, what's up, TY dog? Oh, good, bro. How are you, man?
Yeah, this is like looking at one of my ranked games.
But at least like so. I know a lot of people are probably like, man, China's not gonna do well at Worlds, whatever. I respect the fact that not only does China have their own meta, but they're rocking it, right? Like they're definitely like there's flaws in their gameplay and there's flaws in their strategy, but like they're not as far behind. Like, okay, so I would confidently say that at least the top 2 China teams, like QG and probably OMGB, would beat the lower seeded like NA teams and challenger teams, right? Like they have the ability to easily beat them on like the lower seeded teams. Shit, they could probably beat us. We suck, right? Like EnVy is just they would probably farm us, but that's not the point. It's like they understand what they're doing and why they pick certain stuff. So, like, that's pretty interesting. Yo, Hannah,
Yeah.
I hope that you and Z1X have a great date. I'm so glad.
As I said a couple times in the chat, Avant could definitely beat enemy. Like, I actually put odds on them to beat enemy, like, after watching what Cloud9 did to them. Yeah, I know, because Avant, before Super Regionals, I wouldn't have said they could have, but a couple of their quote-unquote weaker players, like, showed up big time there. And from what I've been hearing, have been, like, on another level ever since. Like, when Devios, like, showed up one day and then became, like, the best player.
Well, yeah,
Like,
I think
they
it was.
haven't, like, become, like, the best player, but they just, like, become really, really good.
Well, like,
Like,
I
much better than what they were.
I think it comes with like personality. So like a lot of people understand, like for example, Fnatic, they usually aren't the strongest team online, but their LAN presence is definitely felt. They're a really strong team at LAN, whether it be their scary presence or just the way they play the game. I haven't played them yet, so I couldn't really tell you, but from experience of seeing other teams, they bring a very hungry LAN presence. So TSM is the perfect example because they lost their LAN presence, which would be Devios. Devios came in angry and loud, and he showed it. He pumped everyone in the team up, right? And it showed through his gameplay as well as his attitude in person. If you've met Devios in online, like or like in LAN, he's a very talkative dude. He's nice. He's just a kid that wants to play fucking video games. Everyone likes to play fucking video games. He just came to LAN every single morning and he's like, I want to play video games right now, right? So Devios get loud, yell, etc. Like he didn't care because he just wanted to win. That was his major goal from the very beginning. And you could definitely feel the lack of the Devios presence with TSM. Not saying Bickham was bad. Bickham is amazing, but he doesn't like he does his own distinct style. But you could feel like the loss of LAN presence, right? Like they didn't feel as scary as in LAN that they did back when they had Devios. regardless of meta, right? Like I didn't feel it. At least seeing them in person, I was like, you could definitely tell TSM aren't the same land monsters that they used to be. So I don't know. I think a lot of teams bring it in person comparatively, like
Yeah.
online.
Well, yeah, like Sporks, that's the sole laner for Avant. He's similar to Divius. Like he was like loud. I don't think he was yelling. I don't think any of the OCE guys like yelled when they were up playing. The supporters in the crowd did. But like he was, if anyone was yelling, it was definitely him. He became a animal. He was
Yeah.
great.
And also, like, so a comment said, why do you say Fnatic is scary? I think you should say Paradigm is scary at LAN. Even Captain Twig said Paradigm is scary at LAN. It's not that I'm not saying that Paradigm isn't scary. I think Paradigm is a great team. They've recently, so, like, they've had chances, but, like, normally, at least the past 2 LANs, and this is nothing against Paradigm, because I love Paradigm, and I love the Paradigm boys, and I love everything they do. They do good stuff for Smite, and they continue to grow the Smite scene in a positive way. With that aside, they really haven't shown up to LAN, right? Like Paradigm, so the first time, at least, we fought them, we 3-0'd them pretty easily, but that's back when we were in our prime, right? Thank you, Sublime Panic, for the 3 months in a row. Thank you, Subline. I appreciate it. Welcome back to the church, my man. So, Paradigm really haven't been showing up to LAN as hard as, like, the other European teams. This is kind of like Epsilon's first test. They didn't show up either. But, so, here's where it got interesting, and this is where I will speak to you guys on pretty much the term momentum, right? So, momentum, especially for close games and winning sets, carries through a lot of... There's been a lot of tournaments and a lot of tournament upsets. It all starts with, like, momentum based on how close... like a losing or winning experience. So I feel like, and this is no offense to Paradigm, like I feel like Fnatic's a really strong team, and I don't know how close they are in terms of like according to like before the LAN, Paradigm were like 3rd seed. They were pretty solidly 3rd seed. They were the top 3 team in Europe, but they weren't the best team, right? They weren't the best by a long shot because Epsilon was farming everybody. Fnatic were doing good as well. But then Paradigm, they were looking really bad. But they had the closest set probably of the whole Super Regionals. Remember Dig versus Paradigm.
Yeah.
So that was actually extremely close. It went to Game 5, and Paradigm were down like 10k gold, and somehow Dignitas threw that. Like, so I was thinking to myself, because a lot of people were like, well, Paradigm won that set, right? Dignitas were considered a really low-seeded team with no chance of winning the LAN. There was like a lot of people were like, there's no way Dignitas is going to get farmed. The fact that Dignitas brought it so close and Paradigm still clutched out a win, and then they came through and they just stomped everyone else to get, to win from there. Like, not stomp, but they had another close series with Epsilon. That's momentum. They were able to carry, even though, like, yeah, it didn't even look too hot, they were able to carry that through all the way to the end. They ended up winning the whole thing, right? So there's a lot of factors that play into LAN, not just skills and stuff like that. It's also mindsets, and I don't know. We can go. I can go off in like a rant on the topic, but I think that carried with Paradigm a lot, to win the series, which is nothing to be ashamed of or anything like that. That's good. That was great for them. They needed that to win the whole thing. But now the question is, will they be able to bring that to Worlds when they need it the most, to win the big prize money, the big $1 million. So
I was talking with Dim. Oh, that was hot. I reckon this guy's dead.
yeah, I don't know this. Juan is just not. It's just like it's like back and forth. Like he gets a kill, dies. Like
Well, he lived.
I feel bad. The Wukong just finished Mystical Mail, by the way.
I was talking with Dan Brand in the OCE regionals, like talking about super regionals. I actually said to him that I said, what do you think of EnVy? You reckon they can pull something out that looked decent? He's like, EnVy's not real. I was like, all right, man.
God damn, that's savage. Do they have to play them in the bracket, or I haven't seen the Worlds bracket yet?
EnVy plays Avant first up.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's
That's actually be a hype match then.
Yeah, that's why I've been saying Avant can win that one.
Well, it's gonna be like Avant shows up, and like they just do what they've been doing and stomp, or enemy shows up, right? Because like the end of the enemy momentum was the fact that they got 3-0 by Cloud9. Pretty free. Like it was straight up like free, right? Like Cloud9 just did what they gotta do, and they farmed. Like they've been farming. Like they've been on point for a while now, right? So the answer is, will they go into that like Worlds fresh, prepared, etc., and go ham, or will they just lose out? And will Avant show up and be like, "Yo, Oceanic isn't that bad," or will they get stomped and then that's the end of the Oceanic dream? So
Yeah, I think it'd be really interesting. I don't know, just watching the. Avant's got Captain Coach coaching him as well, which is huge. Like, because he took a team to second place last year. He's been there, done that kind of thing. So he's been at the top levels, and for him to like, be willing to leave time to go to Avant is pretty big. I mean, obviously there are other factors in play there, uh, but back to Paradigm. One thing DM Brand said to me about Paradigm was, uh, in the games that they would win or like their good matches, it'd be like one or two of their players going off. Like it'd be Cubo and Zalia, or it'd be Funball or Lobster, but it was never all five of them showing up at the same time. And then that's what they did at Super Regionals. Like they all showed up and they all played really, really well.
yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. It's dude, Worlds is just gonna be gnarly. I can't wait to watch it. Because I'm over here not in it. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man,
feels bad, man.
feels bad, man.
Uh,
But oh yeah, so someone asked, I really wonder why Wukong even bought Mystical Mail considering it's expensive and he's already so behind. Well, what else is he gonna buy at that point? I guess is the real question because there's nothing else to really help him, and the protections and the aura are still gonna be beneficial. And Wukong still, I think at this point for most of the lane, you're still gonna follow the build order, right? Which is like Mystical Mail, Rune Forge, and then maybe get an offensive item or more defensive items like a Runic Shield or Borg or Hope, and you just slam your face on the keyboard, shield the underworld here and there, and then bam, you're a soul lane wonder. Ready for SPL. Kappa. I think
sorry,
I
I'm
just.
getting like, sorry, I'm just getting all these messages from OCE saying, "Tell Allied OCE Dream's still alive."
No, I think they could do it. It's definitely not out of the question, right?
Uh, yeah, I think there was high praise from DM and Adonis, and Adonis played pro. DM is a really, really good caster and really knowledgeable about the game. And for him to say good words is impressive, I think. Considering, like, compared to other OCE esports where generally we're, like, bottom tier.
Yeah. Now, I wonder if, so how's the skill level between the Oceanic players? So is it like just
Yeah.
Advent and
So,
Direwolves like way above the rest of the pack, or?
so it's kind of like, so it's very much a ladder. So it's Avant on top, then like just like a quarter step behind is Direwolves. Like not that far behind. Like if Direwolves can get it together, they'll be the same level. Like they've got the mechanical skill and stuff. They just got to get their team together.
This is the grand
Then
finals?
below them
No, not yet. This is losers finals.
SYF, and below them is Integral, and then there's just a void of just like everyone else in the region, all
Yeah,
around the
fair
same skill
enough.
level.
Yeah, okay.
Like other than that, there was another team, Chiefs, who had a couple of quite good players in it. They were above SYF and Integral. They disbanded. A couple of their players have spread out to some of the SYF Integral Direwolves. So I don't know if we'll see. That team won't come back together, but there's a couple of remaining players from a couple of quite good like ranked players and stuff still out there that can make some noise. But yeah, like there's a big skill gap for sure, and that's not like ragging on anyone in OCE. That's just like how good Avant and Direwolves are. But
Yeah.
it's not the same level of competition in OCE that there is in NA and EU for sure, and that's just a population thing. Like we've just got such a small population, and Smite's such a small game even in comparison. Oh my god, look at this fight.
I know, dude. You know what's crazy? So QG won that fight on tier 2. It's a 4-man sweep. And legit, they were down like almost 10k gold. Like, how the fuck? China #1, man. Like, I don't get that. Like, how do they win these fights? It's like, I didn't see the beginning of that fight. I was kind of looking at something else. But, like, the fact, because I just assumed that they would win. It's really hard to throw your lead. And it's not like QG's comp is anything like, oh my god. Hello?
Shit on.
Juan, please.
Fucking wrecked. That's a full trans Eggsy Medusa.
I don't know, man.
He went
Crazy.
before Soul Eater. That's interesting to me.
What happened?
He went Executioner before Soul Eater. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, that seems okay. So I've seen that a couple times. I don't like disagree with it Because usually, but at the same time, it depends on like what your goal is. So if you're team fighting and you're not worried about taking poke, Executioner is a DPS increase. Soul Eater is mostly there for the stats that you get, right? Like Soul Eater, the reason why Soul Eater is so picked up, and this will be a great lesson for like people like learning Hunter role, like because I get asked commonly, why the fuck do you build Soul Eater over Aussie or like Devo gloves or whatever? Like why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. But when you look at how much stats that's like for whatever reason, Hi-Rez when they introduced back Soul Eater or buffed it, they gave Soul Eater like literally 5 free base stats that you get for like 2,000 gold. You get physical protection, lifesteal aura. You get the physical protection, the physical power, which is part of the aura, attack speed, and health. 300 health, which is a crazy amount of health to have that early in the game, making you insanely tanky. Which is why Soul Eater is almost like you could just build it first and be okay. And shouts to this team fight. Oh my, Lonely Mikasa is going ham right now. I like how he got Mystical Mail into Breastplate of Valor. Savage. No Jones Wrath either.
He's still 3k behind.
Well, they finally got that tier 2 tower. Gold's coming up. They're probably going to get gold. China loves gold.
Gold Fury #1.
Still no Fire Giant attempts. Crazily enough. It's always like the tier 2 tower attempts and stuff like that. But, I mean, looking at the builds, they could definitely try. They're just not going to risk it. And the ISIS went Thoth, Pen Boots to Soul Reaver. I'm going to try that out.
Oh my god. That's filthy.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have a penetration yet. I mean, is it working? Like, what's the defense looking? There's no magical defense yet. I guess the closest thing would be Heartward for Bacchus. But
yeah.
Bacchus isn't doing that hot.
Yeah, and like technically solves aura, but that's like only 20, so that doesn't even count.
Yeah.
Oh, Deathbringer first from Neath.
Yeah, it seems to be the thing with hunters. For Chinese hunters, so like they'll flat out either buy Deathbringer or they'll get Rage if they have enough. But like if they have enough gold, they'll just flat out Deathbringer. Like the Neath and the Medusa are doing it. Yeah. I don't know. I've seen more Deathbringers first instead of Rage. Way more. So I don't know if that's like part of their build order. Maybe they just like Deathbringer first. But I don't know.
One good thing OC has going is that we're all pretty close as a scene. So like ranked games and stuff, everyone gets on Curse, everyone talks to each other, treats it really seriously. So you get some good practice there, like more so than you would from NA, EU stuff. Like we have a Curse group going about like so everyone knows, oh, we're all queuing leagues at this time because like you literally have to like synchronize queuing to get a pop. So it makes it really good. It makes us really close as a community.
So like basically the Oceanic scene's growing pretty steadily, you'd say?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Like last 4 months have actually been really big. I think we've like I always like kind of judge the scene on like ranked Q pop times. Like when I first started playing ranked, it was like easily an hour, 2 hours. Now it's down to like 15 minutes or like waiting till the next one finishes. Like it's much more. There's a lot of players. Like there's tons of players like growing out there. We've got a Facebook group that's growing steadily. Like yeah, it's going there. Like it's nowhere the size of NAEU, and I don't think it'll ever be just because we're a smaller country. And
yeah.
The Legends like dominates everything.
Wait, really? In the Oceanic
it's
scene,
well.
It's all about the League of Legos?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's Dota 2 as well, but like every man, dog, and child has played League of Legends in OCE. But yeah. It's super popular. And FPS as well, actually. Call of Duty is like a big one in OCE because like everyone wants to be MLG.
Yo, they blew Star up. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What's crazy is like
I wanted revenge.
I don't know. There's so many pickoffs in China. It's crazy, and they're warding, right? There's wars and stuff. I don't know. Just Chalk can't get away. Little fat Chalk. No way to get out, man. Now, okay, so it's even again. I'm still gonna call it even because it's like 18 to 17. So QG are down gold, or a decent amount of gold, like 7k gold. But this might be another 60-minute doozy. I'm calling it. This might be like the 60-minute wonder. What do you think?
We just hit 30, so this feels like halftime.
Yeah, this is halftime.
You can see that they're all like backed off. They're all getting a drink.
Yeah.
Orange juice.
All right, guys. Woo! All right, good hustle out there, going. Like, what the fuck? Like, let's do some. All right, so we want to get back harpies. More back harpies, more gold furies.
Yeah, stable economy.
I would love to see like an insight on like the Chinese teams. Like, what is the priority at this point? Like, you're 30 minutes in. What is the game plan or the objective? Because tier ones are still up for OMG. Like, just like, so if you're QG, what would you do right now to even like somewhat get back into the game? I don't even
Well,
know.
they last game they did towers. Like they were the more conventional out of the two teams.
What's up, Aquaticson? So nice to see you. Hope
Yeah,
you're
I don't
good.
know, like because they got all those towers, and like you were saying how OMG was just like not doing anything, was going gold fire giant to gold fury, and then hovering around a tier 1. So I don't know, you just gotta take the towers, do what they did last game.
Still, I'm just so surprised they don't, like, Fire Giant, no touchy. Like, because QG is playing so far back, if they just bait them, like, and here's the thing, I would love to go to, like, the Chinese scene, like, hey, you guys should try baiting at Fire Giant. Great A result, by the way, beautiful. That was, like, everything. Even the Bacchus had to use beads. But yeah, like I would love to see, like, because right now they could end the game or like bait a huge team fight. OMG just runs a fire giant, pretend you're doing it, and the Wilkes isn't there. By the way, they're pressuring this. The Wilkes backed, like, it's straight up, like, they're pressuring that without even the full team. Like, if this was like SPL production, I would want Bart to be like, all right, we're gonna bring up the comms of OMG. How will they, win this game? Zindude said, I don't fucking get it, man. Ares got Pestilence, Mystical Mail, and he still doesn't have Salve. What is... I don't know, man. I don't know. And, okay, so I've seen Pestilence more out of the Chinese teams than any other region. Like, by far. Like, they love Pestilence. And Bulwark or Hope. They love those two items.
I mean, they like healing as well. We saw all the hell play.
Okay, so I will say Bulwark or Hope is a great late game item, even if the other team doesn't have that much magic damage, just because of the passive. Like, if you're on the brink of death or like whatever, like, the passive procs, which is a pretty good passive. I can understand that because these games are going literally 60 minutes long, but it seems like none of them have any idea of how to actually end the game, other than they just kind of like going through the motions. Like, and what's crazy is 32 minutes in, the Wilkes is level 18 still. The supports, like, I mean, Bach is level 15, so they're not farming as efficiently as they can be. And I would expect more out of QG. OMG, I think they came in like 3rd seed into this, so like they aren't obviously as hot. But QG, they're the number 1 seeded team. Like, they should like be on top of their shit by now, right? I'd imagine.
Check it out, hide on Fenrir.
And look, you can tell the priority is completely warped because they're doing what I was saying, bait around the objective, but they're baiting around Gold Fury for some reason. Instead of actually baiting at Fire Giant. There's no baits at Fire Giant. It's just baiting around Gold Fury. So
we saw they prioritize Gold Fury much more than Fire.
Look, they're doing it 33 minutes, dude. They're just like, give me that Gold Fury, fam. Like,
Well, both Isis and Agni are still only 4-slotted, so they went right before Kronos Pendant.
I don't know. Shouts to Rod. Shouts to no penetration Isis. The Agni build is very straightforward. Big fan though. This is like as standard. Like, I would build this. The Bancroft Spear Rod into what the fuck? Kronos Pendant? Okay, Kronos Pendant. That's good. That's good. Oh, gets in the ult just in time. Wow, the Agni bombs. Look at that AoE. Oh my god. The Isis ult too.
You see Bacchus go back in?
Yeah, dude, crazy.
Half health.
No, this is what I'm explaining. It's just they're all in, dude. Like, they don't back. The Bacchus could have very easily backed. They could have disengaged, but they're all in. They're just going in. We all die with honor. And just that's it. Like, the Ares again fucked up now, but now they have to disengage. And also, I guess this is where it's 1-for-1, but no objective is gonna taken off this.
Oh my god.
Even the girl catch is like, God damn, that Agni almost got fucked up. Like, everyone's going crazy.
Yeah, it seems like to me that...
Look at the Fenrir, he's lit! Dude, did you see that? He jumped in like he has 2 HP, please!
What it seems to me is like one person will jump in, right? and they'll be the front line. Everyone else will stand behind him. It'll be one person front line, the other 4 people in a row just like using all their abilities, and then when that person in the front line gets low, he'll jump out, and then the next person will go in, and then he'll get low, and then the next person will go in.
Yeah.
And then it'll be down to like your mage being your front line, and then the mage will go in, and
Yeah.
then he'll get blown up, and then they'll lose.
Yeah, and then it's rinse repeat until like eventually they realize that none of them want to go in anymore because they're all 1 HP, and then they still go in, and then they just die, and then you're like, oh shit, fuck me up, fam.
China #1.
Yeah, like, but it's
Ping and
like,
Fire Giant.
did the stream stutter for you? It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, I'm refreshing. I have to refresh. I got shitty Australian internet.
Oh.
Shout out to Australian internet, 0.8
oh
upload.
god,
Yeah.
that's terrible. No wonder
It's
there's not too
apparently-
many streamers out of the oceanic scene.
Yeah, that's like that's apparently better than 72% of the country on the speed test, so pretty
Really?
hot.
Wow.
Yeah. It's fucking horrendous. Our like big, like you guys are getting like Google Fiber and shit. We're getting broadband. Like that's our big project.
Wait, really? Oh my god.
The National Broadband Network. It's our big project, and even that we're doing fucking half-assed with like copper wires and shit.
Oh jeez. Yo, what up, Range Limit? How's it going, pal? So, watching these Chinese games is like watching a game of Assault. Oh man. Straight savage.
No, it's Clash, man. It's Clash.
Ace Appear, thank you, bro, for the 22 months. Thank you, Ace Appear. Make sure you guys do hearts for Ace Appear.
Look at this Wheelix. No fear.
I love the balls.
Yeah.
The balls. So Wilkes is full tank. He don't give a fuck. Jones, mail renewal, Borker Hope. Like, he's not fucking around. I love the build. Right into a Titan's Bane.
Feedback in.
I'm surprised we don't see more, like, low health. Like, there's so many times I've seen soul laners die in China where they could have just backed and teleported in. But, like, they don't abuse that enough, I feel like. And there's the first Phoenix. I feel like OMG is definitely trying to, like, you know what? Like, we're trying to end this fucking game. But
They actually tanked the Phoenix that time. Like they didn't do it last game. They all hovered outside of it.
I love balls. That's right. I said it.
What is it? QG?
Balls.
If they're feeling manly, they could go for FG here. But no, Master lose on the other side.
Dude,
If he was on the right side, they could have maybe snuck it.
I think they're just so afraid of the outcome of FG. I feel like also, like, with the hog changes too, like, you could see, like, they're very scared of, like, do we go for FG? I don't know. Goldfear's coming up, though. Like, no, motherfucker, just go for FG, please.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that option always comes up. We could contest FG or, like, make a contest, but then, like, but Goldfear's coming up, though. Like, I guarantee, because they're all around FG right now, they're going to see Goldfear's coming up, and they're going to start running over there again, and it's going to be rinse and repeat.
So Medusa went Titan's Bane instead of Rage. I mean,
Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's a DPS decrease, but let's look at the physical protection. So maybe he's fighting the Fenrir. The Fenrir has a very Ebola build. Shield the Underworld Hide, and that's a lot of physical protection. It has to be over 250 physical protection for a Titan's Bane to even be worth it as a DPS increase, but that's still with double crit. So he's still missing part of the formula for it to be a DPS increase. So right now, I don't know, he's just like, fuck me up, fam. But this is the first Fire Giant. Oh my god.
he was silenced and stunned, and he bees right at the right
This
time.
is why
He jumped
China
away.
does not do FG. I just got it. This is why these games go so long, because this must be common. They're probably like, the one time we go for fucking FG, what the fuck, man? The one
Only
time.
Gold Fury. Only Gold Furies.
You know number one. This is the one time we go for FG. The fuck?
They probably like, fuck you, Fighting J.
like you go to
Learn
NA.
that shit.
Did it-
Learn that shit. I learned from Copernicus.
Like, I don't get it, man. It's some shit, man.
Oh, is QG gonna end it? I think they can. It's like 20 seconds before the next person on OMG comes up.
They could end. I mean, FG OP as
Oh, yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, that's game. I feel bad for Star, man. He did work on that chart.
OMG, dude. Like, I feel like victory was right there. They just got cheated out of it. Like, not cheated. So, OMG were ahead the second game the whole time. And the first game, OMG were getting stomped. And then they brought it back late game, and then QG brought it back. So it was like,
Yeah.
it's throw central, dude, and QG just came out on top. I just, you know, he's probably thinking, you know, they're gonna talk about it. It's like, I told you we should have went for Golfier again. like I told you Golfier was the better call, man. Like, they're for sure, they're hands down, like, why did we go for FG when Golfier was up, motherfucker? Like, what's wrong with you?
China #1.
High break. Holy shit.
Oh my god. That was a throw of epic proportions. Only China could do a throw that big. It's like the 2008 Olympics.
I mean, like, okay, so that was just losers finals. I'm calling it right. OMGB is just gonna stomp the fuck out of like QG again because they did that the first time winners, right? They just stomped them. Like, it wasn't stomped. It was just very straightforward. We're winning the game, right? And if QG is playing like that, unless they get enough momentum or like, you know, or like they figured out what to do, like ban Hell and, you know,